Now fall is already here. All people are paying attention to Erdai. See what kind of cricket Erdai can capture this fall. According to the convention, Erdai will definitely wander around the tomb of 9 times. 9 times was the captain of the 5th production team when he was alive. This guy has black teeth, big, strong, has a cruel heart, and dark hands. You only need to watch him train his son, and you will know how poisonous this guy is. If his son upsets him, he will hold his son's ear and lift him up and throw him out of the patio. When 9 times was alive, he was a majestic and fierce character that everyone was afraid of. No one expected him to die when he was in his 40s. The village was covered with thick snow on the morning when 9 times died. It was an ominous day. A bad omen appeared in the village early in the morning. As soon as the day broke, a ghostly pole appeared on the white snow, and this pole ran wildly around a person high in the air. The pole also has long and tangled hair, and it spreads its teeth and claws with the pole. When people looked at this pole, they were all frightened. More than a dozen black men carried shovels around the mysterious flying object. But what they caught was not a pole, but a female educated youth who served as a substitute. The female educated youth had bare buttocks with a rag stuffed in her mouth, and her arms were held flat, tied to the pole by rope. The female educated youth's skin is too white, and her snow-white skin created a fatal illusion on the vast snow. People held the female educated youth, pulled the rag from her mouth. They also took out a more scary sentence from the female educated youth's mouth. Dead! Dead! The dead person was the captain of the 5th production team, and he lay down in the bed of the female educated youth, was already cold. The female educated youth was wrapped in a military coat and sat on the bench at the brigade headquarters. The female educated youth's lips and eyes are more like a dead person. However, she can control her mouth. Although her eyes were distracted, her black lips had a crazy desire to speak, like bubbles in a biogas pit, gurgling out, and it couldn't stop it even if it wanted to. The female educated youth speaks when she sees anyone. You ask one sentence and she says one sentence. You ask about the details, she talks about the details. You repeat the question several times and she repeats the answer the same times. Just the morning, she said 1,000 times about what had happened in the night, how the captain put a rag on her mouth, how the captain tied her to a doll character on the pole, and said that the captain slapped her 9 times. She said that the captain covered his chest, crooked to the side, and vomited foam from his mouth. Everyone in the village knew that the captain had slapped the female educated youth 9 times, and they all knew that he crooked to the side and vomited foam from his mouth. People were tired of listening and no longer asked the female educated youth any questions. The female educated youth looked at the 3rd button on the military coat and kept talking to the button. Later, the militia platoon guide was really impatient and yelled at her, saying, "Okay, I see. You are amazing. 9 times and 9 times. The person let you sleep to death. And 9 times and 9 times. You talk again. Let me give you 10 times. The female educated youth finally focused her eyes. She looked at the militia platoon leader with focused eyes, and a strange expression suddenly appeared on her face. The corners of her mouth seemed to be crooked, and she smiled. Her decolorized face was full of cold, anger, and despair. And she was definitely a dead person. This weird smile seemed to revive her all at once. The last trace of shame was revealed on the face of resurrection. The captain of the 5th production team therefore carried the laborious nickname 9 times. If the captain is not dead, no one has the courage to give him such a nickname. Although 9 times was buried, his ferocious ghost would not immediately dissipate. Every night, people could still hear his arrogant footsteps. Such a person has become a cricket. It must be a masterpiece. The body is masculine, majestic, golden-topped, blue-necked, and full of fleas, purple all over, commonly known as golden-top purple tricolor. Such cricket must be the bronze hammer on the stage, swallowing thousands of miles at random. There is no doubt that Erdai has definitely wandered around the cemetery of 9 times these days. Except for Erdai, no one has the guts to approach the 9 times cricket. However, no one knows what Erdai is up to these days. In the fall, he will be like cricket, covered with claws for no reason, coming and going, in and out of the gloomy caves. But no one knows what kind of caves Erdai likes. Someone has noticed Erdai's shadow, saying that there are hairs on Erdai's shadow, and said that when Erdai's shadow is dragged across your body, your skin will be itchy like being poked by a fox's tail. That is the unwillingness of the souls of the dead, and they want to take advantage of your positive life. Therefore, when you talk to Erdai, you must first look at the angle of the sun. Otherwise, you will be provoked. This legend isolates Erdai, but in turn, it also illustrates the problem. Erdai's feet are indeed stepping on the 2 realms of life and death. Once a person is isolated, he is either a ghost or a god. Or, in other words, he is both a ghost and a god. Have you ever heard Erdai laugh? No? He laughs like a cricket sound. It turns dark when he laughs.